Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. I am your host God of Heroics, and with season 1 right around the corner, I figured we should do what we did for the last patch and talk about what is to come as far as nerfs and buffs for the game. There are a lot of character fixes and team up ability changes that are going to make season 1 very interesting for new players and returning players. So, without further ado, we are going to get started. So, if you like these type of videos, please like the video, subscribe to the page, and hit that notification bell so you can be notified to all future uploads. We've talked about literally everything else on the channel so far: characters, skins, maps, abilities, and even game modes. But what we didn't talk about were the nerfs and buffs, so we are here on the Marvel Rivals information page looking at all of that stuff right now. We're going to jump right into it. We're not really going to do a lot of speculation on how things are going to work because most of these abilities and changes are pretty straightforward, so we're just going to talk about what's here, and we're just going to pretty much read verbatim what is going on. And for pretty complicated and long explanations, we're going to do what we always do and just talk about what that actually means in the grand scheme of things. Starting off with Captain America. Steve will receive some enhanced survivability, allowing more frequent entering and exiting of the combat. Reduce the delay time for shield restoration after releasing Living Legend from 3 seconds to 2 seconds. Reduce Liberty Rush cooldown from 12 seconds to 10 seconds, increase base health from 650 to 675, and reduce the energy cost for releasing Freedom Charge, his ultimate ability, from 3,400 to 3,100. Reduce the additional health provided per second to self after releasing it from 110 to 100. So basically, pretty much all his abilities got faster cooldowns, and they did change up a little bit of how he works for the sake of making him survive a little bit longer. To be honest, I personally never had an issue with Captain America's survivability, but then again, it has gotten to the point where Captain America has been one of the easier characters to really deal with, pretty much just by beating down on his shield and jumping him. So this allows him not only to survive a little bit longer, but get in and out of combat a lot easier, and it allows his team to work around him just a little bit better. Doctor Strange will be reducing the threat range and increasing defense window of the Sorcerer Supreme. Add damage fall off to Maelstrom of Madness and Gamma Maelstrom. It says starting at 5 meters and reducing to 70% at 8 meters. Slightly decreasing the shield value recovery rate after releasing Shield of the Seraphim from 80 per second to 70 per second. Not much to talk about there. They just pretty much changed his dark magic and his shield. So, Thor, the God of Thunder, can use some slightly increased survivability and improve the success rate to his ultimate ability. I agree, Jesus. So, increase base health from 500 to 525 and added immunity to control effects during the God of Thunder, his ultimate ability. To be honest, I feel like there could have been a little bit more to do for that character, but what they've done is pretty well done, so can't really complain. Hulk. Dr. Banner has been dominant, but some decreased sustained combat capability upon entering the battlefield will bring him more in with the other vanguards. It says reduce the indestructible guard gamma shield value for Hulk from 250 to 200. That's pretty much the only change. I think it's only because his shield is pretty damn strong, and beating your way through that shield pretty much makes it so that, as far as the whole being in and fighting aspect, Hulk has a little bit more longevity than other characters. Just a little bit, nothing too crazy, but Hulk in general just lasts longer, and he stays in the fight much longer before getting jumped and taken out, which even in and of itself takes a while. Like, really jumping Hulk and killing him just takes a while, just because of his shield, then his ability to stun, and then on top of that, he has a lot of health and defense. So yeah, that's just in decreasing the shield just a little bit. Probably it'll probably discourage him jumping in a little bit more. Venom. With increased survivability and threat of the ultimate ability, the symbiote menace will strike fear into the backline of all enemy teams. Increase the symbiotic resilience bonus health ratio gained per lost health point from 1 to 1.2. Increase the base damage of Feast of the Abyss, his ultimate ability, from 40 to 50. So basically, he gains a little bit more bonus health and he does a little bit more damage. Nothing too crazy. Moving on to the duelist, we start with Black Panther. We're slightly decreasing Black Panther's combat survivability, so basically they're going to make it so that it's more advantageous for Black Panther to get in and get out, which makes sense because he's a hunting type character. So it says reduce the additional health provided to self after refreshing Vibranium Mark with Spirit Rend from 40 to 30, and the upper limit of additional health provided from 120 to 75. Basically, it doesn't get as much bonus health anymore, and additional health that is provided isn't 40 anymore, it's 30. So nothing super, super crazy, but we're moving on to a character that really needed the buff, Black Widow. Natasha was very much in need of optimization when evaluating the release experience of her abilities, as well as slightly increase to the threat of her ultimate ability. I'm going to be entirely honest, I have no idea what her ultimate does, because like I've run into Black Widows before and one of my friends has played her a little bit, but nobody talks about her ultimate. And maybe I've heard her use her ultimate, whatever voice line she says when doing it, but I've never gotten killed by it. I don't think I've even seen anybody get killed by it. She's much in the same like vein as Magneto, where they do stuff, but no one really cares. Like, I've never heard Magneto say fear Magneto and then followed up by one or more kills on the kill feed. But that's just me. Anyway, moving with her abilities, it says increase the range of the first effect of Edge Dancer from a 3 meter radius to a 5 meter radius, so just giving her a little bit more range. And it says reduce the time required for Fleetfoot to recover from 0 stamina to full from 12 seconds to 4 seconds. That is a huge change for her. And it says reduce the time required for Electroplasma Explosion, her ultimate ability, to reach maximum power from 1 second to 1.6 seconds. So her ultimate is just a little bit faster. I'm not entirely certain what that means. Please, somebody in the comments tell me, or I'll just go to her heroes menu and look at her abilities and see what it is. Because I swear to God, I've never seen her ultimate ability ever. But Hawkeye, the character who is overpowered, along with the next character on the list, who is Hela, and they are getting some changes. Hawkeye will be decreasing the medium long range damage capability, reducing the threatening combat radius, and slightly improving the close combat resistance for the avenging archer. Slightly reduce the spread angle between every 2 blast arrows. So yeah, they're just reducing the hit basically. It says reduce the trigger distance of passive ability Archer's Focus from 60 meters to 40 meters. So 60 meters to 40 meters. Is that what I said? Anyway, reduce the maximum additional damage of his passive from 80 to 70. So essentially, we're just making him weaker with a little bit less range. Which, I mean, not the craziest thing. I'm pretty sure a lot of Hawkeye players will still find a way to get around that. But Hela, which has a nerf that I don't even like. Like, they basically didn't change anything about this character. The Goddess of Death has been a menace and will slightly decrease her combat strength. They say that, but then all they did was decrease her health by 25. So I don't think that's much of a change. They said they were reducing her combat strength, and they didn't. I mean, like, unless her combat strength is like entirely based on her max HP or how much health she has, then this isn't really anything. But anyway, moving forward with our next duelist, Magic. The Queen of Limbo needed an increase to her threat after unleashing her ultimate, which I 100% agree with. It doesn't feel like she's really doing much. And it says increase umbral incursion damage in Dark Child form from 115 to 135, which is great because if her, I don't know what her base strength is for her regular abilities, but when using her ultimate, it doesn't feel like I'm doing that much more damage. It feels like I'm just doing the same damage but with slightly increased range. So now I think the damage will actually be noticeable and it'll make her more of a threat. Moon Knight, the Hand of Khonshu will receive a slight increase to the threat of his ultimate, increase the number of talons generated by Hand of Khonshu from 10 to 14, and increase the explosion radius of each talon from 4 meters to 5 meters. I've been asking for this to some degree. Every time I've used his ultimate, it's so weird. Like, yeah, I know how to use it now, and it's pretty cool for trapping enemies, especially if they're backing up or if they're trying to push. Like, you can, if you position it properly, especially if you use your Ankh alongside of it, you can really trap enemies to either get hit by the Ankh or the ultimate, or sometimes both. But I've always wanted this to do, to basically last a little bit longer and also have a wider range, which now I'm so glad we actually have. Namor. We're optimizing the throwing feel of Namor's egg, adjusting the throwing feel of Monstro Spawn and Frozen Spawn. Now Namor can more accurately throw them to the desired location. So I guess it just made it easier to position his little squids or octopi, whatever, wherever he wants, which is pretty cool. I mean, to be fair, Namor was always a pretty solid character. I didn't see any real changes that needed to happen, but I did hear maybe twice one of my friends would say, "Oh, I didn't mean to put that there," which, I mean, yeah, but either way, he made it work. So anyway, I guess it's just gonna make things a little bit more accurate. Psylocke will be providing more option for other heroes to counter the Demon Slayer's ultimate. Now, Dance of the Butterfly, one of the best abilities in the game, in my opinion, by the way, will check for barriers, including Magneto's Metal Bulwark and Hulk's Indestructible Guard, etc., etc., etc. So, basically, I think the ultimate, instead of just damaging the character directly, if they have a barrier on them, it's going to do damage to the barrier first instead of bypassing their defense. And then we have Punisher and Scarlet Witch, who are the next two on this list. It says Punisher will slightly increasing the damage capability of Frank's weapon, slightly reduce the spread of Deliverance and Adjudication, which are just his guns. Scarlet Witch says we're increasing Wanda's combat strength. Why? When she's facing duelist or strategist, increase chaos controls, fixed damage from 50 damage per second to 60 damage per second, and reduce the percentage damage per second from 5% to 3%, and increase Catonian burst projectile damage from 30 to 35. Why does she get buffs? Why does she get buffs? I mean, the percentage damage reduction is cool, but why does she get buffs? I swear she did not need it. She's already Baby's first character and Baby's easiest character. I don't think she needed another boost. But anyway, Storm, who has the most interesting changes in my opinion, says the Weather Witch needed an overall increase to her to her damage capability. We're also optimizing the feel of her left click projectile, which is just her standard projectile, and the release experience of her ultimate ability. So, increase wind blade projectile speed from 100 meters per second to 150 meters per second, and her primary fire damage from 50 to 55. Increase bolt rush damage from 70 to 80. After releasing Omega Hurricane, her ultimate ability, the bonus health provided for herself will be increased from 350 to 450. Moreover, following its conclusion, the extra health will no longer vanish instantly, but will instead diminish at a rate of 100 per second. God, Storm is so much better now. So she attacks faster, she does more damage, and on top of that, her bonus health doesn't disappear after using her ultimate, it just gradually decreases. This is great. I might actually start playing Storm now because, like, God, I've just been avoiding her for so long, but this is actually really good. So, Squirrel Girl. we're increasing the threat of Doreen and her furry friends and her ultimate ability. Addition of a new effect to the unbeatable squirrel tsunami, her ultimate ability. The squirrels will rush towards the nearest enemy after bouncing instead of bouncing randomly. And it's going to decrease the squirrel tsunami's health from 600 to 300. I didn't even know they had their own health. If I knew I could be pissing off PETA, I would have been attacking these damn squirrels. And then we're getting to our last two strategists that are getting fixes in this game: Winter Soldier and Wolverine. Winter Soldier says we'll be adjusting Bucky by decreasing his long range combat strength and increasing his survivability in mid close range combat. It says increase the bonus health provided from by Bionic Hook and Tainted Voltage from 30 to 40, so he gets more health for those abilities. Increase Rotor Stern's projectile fire from 70 to 75 and reduce the area damage from 70 to 65 and reduce damage decay from 65 at 40 meters to 60%. And it says increase base health from 250 to 275. So basically, Bucky's a little bit more dangerous. I say a little bit more dangerous, but us Bucky players are going to make that go crazy. So for Wolverine, it says Logan will receive an increase to basic combat strength, but a slight decrease to additional survivability after activating Undying Animal. Increase base health from 300 to 350 and reduce the damage reduction ratio provided by Undying Animal from 50% to 40%. And we finally get to move on to our strategist, which means we are almost done with this list. God, this has been a lot of stuff put into one patch. I believe this is way more stuff than was even in the last patch video. So, for Cloak and Dagger, Ty and Tandy will receive an increase to their healing capability as well as an expansion to the coverage area of their ultimate ability, which, oh my god, I love this. I'm going to bust just reading this. As a Cloak and Dagger player, this is everything to me. So it says, reduce Dagger Storm cooldown from 100. Reduce Dagger Storm cooldown from 15 seconds to 12 seconds. I don't know why I was going to say 150 seconds. Wow. But thank you. 3 seconds faster. And it says increase the number of dashes and Eternal Bond to their ultimate ability from 3 to 4. So they have always had 3, just dash, 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 and that was it. And you could cover like a little triangle of space, or you could overlap it. And if you overlap the space that you're healing, then your healing that is done in each space stacks. But now that you can do it 4 times, you can stack that healing 4 times. So if my numbers are correct, I believe that you can make anybody standing in your field, if you overlap it 4 times, to be virtually invincible. And by God, that is going to be so cool. Jeff the Land Shark will be adjusting the range of his ultimate ability. Wait, what? Oh, sorry. Adjusting the range of his ultimate ability so it now better fits the warning mark. In addition, will also be increasing his healing capability. Adjusting its Jeff range from a 10 meter sphere to a 10 meter radius. Oh my fucking god. Thank you. Oh my god. 5 meter high cylindrical spell field. This has, oh my god. You know how many freaking times that I've been playing Spider-Man or Moon Knight and I like double jump up in the air thinking that I'm gonna be completely out of his range and I still get hit, or even Iron Fist like triple to quadruple jumping, being like, yeah, I'm out of this move for sure, and I still get eaten. Well, there's no reason I should be fucking like 10 meters in the air and still get swallowed by something on the ground. But anyway, it's been changed. I probably won't be having these issues. We'll see. So, increase the healing of Joyful Splash from 140 per second to 150 per second, which is fine. Luna Snow. While we've enjoyed her dropping the base, we've made adjustments to Luna's ultimate to prevent players from abusing its healing capabilities. What is being abused? Increase the interval for switching between healing and damage in Fate of Both Worlds from 0.1 seconds to 0.5 seconds. First of all, I didn't know it was that fast. Like, do we got fucking Lightning McQueen fingers over here, just hitting the switch button over and over and over and over to keep up the healing and the damage? Because for the most part, I use the healing to kind of help my teammates push inwards without having to deal with dying, and then I switch to damage when they're really getting in those kills, so I don't have to worry about it. But like, do we really have fucking Speedy Gonzalez over here playing Luna Snow for her ultimate? Anyway, Mantis will be making Mantis a bit less fleet footed, reducing her roaming support capability. And it says reduce Nature's Favor, her passive, her movement boost from 2.5 meters per second to 1.5 meters per second, and never really had an issue with this. I mean, she just walks kind of fast, and to be honest, that's not really weird. But hey, do you, I guess. So, Rocket, he can be used Rocket can use an enhancement to his healing capability, which I agree. Increase the healing of repair mode from 60 per second to 70 per second. So nothing too crazy at all. And I know this video is like 20 minutes long at this point, but I promise you we're almost done. We are going to talk about team up abilities, and then we'll be out of here. So, Hawkeye and Black Widow, to further tone down on Hawkeye's oppression, will be reducing this seasonal buff. Reduce Hawkeye's seasonal bonus from 20% to 15%. Hela Thor Loki, much like Hawkeye, Hela's overwhelming power will be reduced from 20% to 15%. Luna Snow and Namor increase frozen spawn damage from 75 to 70. Sorry, wow, from 25 to 27. Increase frozen spawn slowing effect applied to hit enemies from 25% to 30%, and increase berserk state frozen spawn damage from 16 to 18. So my friend and I are going to be doing Luna and freaking Namor combos a little bit more frequently. So Rocket, Punisher, and Winter Soldier reduce the cooldown of ammo invention from 45 seconds to 40 seconds. So basically, they're going to be getting that infinite ammo a little bit faster. Scarlet Witch and Magneto, it says increase metallic fusion projectile damage from 65 to 60. And then also it says increase metallic fusion spell field damage from 30 to 35. And finally, Thor, Storm, and Captain America reduce the cooldown of Charge Gale from 20 seconds to 15 seconds, and increase the damage of Charged Gale from 50 to 55. And that is now all the information regarding this patch for Season 1. And like I said in the title of our previous video, Season 1 is more stacked than Invisible Woman. And as you can clearly see, there's a lot that went into this. This is one of the largest patches that I think we'll be getting for this game, because we had fixes for like over 50% of the characters for their abilities and for their team abilities. We had new characters, costumes, skins, game modes, all sorts of stuff. And that is quite literally now officially everything that we have to say about Season 1 of this game. So I hope you guys enjoy these last few videos, and I hope you are going to continue to enjoy Marvel Rivals, as I know for a fact I will be doing. And I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.